Hey everybody, welcome back to Anime Sekai Podcast. I am your host, Ichigo.
And I am your other host, Mikan.
Join us this week as we throw these anime villains into a boxing match and see who comes out on top. Hey guys, what's up?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Welcome back. We hope you guys have had a great week so far.
Yes, it's finally the best day of the week.
Yes, or whatever week,
Whenever
because
you're listening to
yeah,
this.
whenever you're listening to this. So, this week we decided to have a little fun and discuss anime villains. So, we do have a couple of other anime villain episodes. If you guys are interested, go check them out. But
Check it out.
this week, we're putting all of our, I'll say, top anime villains. We're going to
Yeah.
put them into a boxing match. And we're going to see who comes out on top.
Yeah, who's winning? So it's villains versus villains.
It is villains versus villains. And I've actually kind of seen a couple of people discuss this on social media where they've talked about who would come out on top or who would win in a fight. And so I thought that would be kind of fun to discuss because I actually think that would be hilarious.
Yeah, like who our top picks are, I guess. Who will survive? Like who's the last few that will survive to the top?
Yes. So for some of my villains that I'm throwing in the ring,
Okay.
because I know some of these villains are going to be yours too, but I'm throwing these three people into the ring to
Okay.
represent my side. So if I steal one of yours, my bad. But you got to find
That's okay.
somebody else.
No, no. I have a team too, so we'll see. We'll see. We'll see who's on yours.
So my three are going to be Frieza,
Mhm.
Skuna,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna throw in just because I think it would be funny. So this is my not serious pick, Mahito.
Okay, Mahito. Oh, I'm kind of surprised you went for Mahito there. I know that's
Oh,
probably your top hated
yeah, he
hated
is.
character
He
of
is
all
my top
time.
hated character of all time. And there's
Wow.
a reason I put him in there, but we can discuss that later.
Okay. Okay. Pretty good pick. You actually only had one. I'm kind of surprised.
Skuna.
Um, yeah, Skuna,
Yeah.
because that's a totally overpowered villain right there.
Exactly. Well, technically Frieza is two,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna put those are gonna be my three I'm throwing in the ring.
Yeah. The thing is, I'm trying to think in concept of who has been like defeated. Granted, obviously, stories that are not complete yet, they like
Yeah.
villains haven't been taken down. But I also thought in concept of like how terrible they were and like the destruction they sort of left behind. Um,
Yeah.
so my main two that honestly I want to see these two fight it out is Skuna and Griffith from Berserk. Because I feel
Ooh.
like those 2 are just, like, bottom of the barrel. Like, they throw, like, punches so low, and they will literally kill everybody in their path, so I would personally like to see them fight against each other, and then I also kinda put Muzan in there. I don't think, in my personal opinion, he would be as strong as either of those 2, but I just feel like and he's a coward, in my opinion. He uses other
Yeah.
people as a shield. But the fact that he does have like the survival instinct of having to live, if I feel kind of I'll put him in there because I do think he'll beat quite a few other villains. But I have two wild cards. So one is now if we're talking about boxing ring, he's not gonna make it out there. But if we're talking about like villains using their own strengths to take out other people, I feel like Yagami Light with his death note, because if he knows everybody's name, he's just writing it in there and it's game over. You just gotta
That
make
is
sure that pen
true.
goes as fast as the other people,
I feel like
But
the
if he's
other
hiding in
villains
the
would kill
corner,
him first before that
probably. That's the
happens.
thing. That's why he's like a wild card. So if he can somehow be under the radar and then just write their names, it would take them out. And then I have one more, and this, in my opinion, this character is not really like a fighter per se. It's more, if we're talking about who is like on god level villain, I feel like Anti-Spiral from Guren Lagann, because
Uh,
the final antagonist,
yeah.
because I mean, he basically can manipulate minds. He can mimic other people's powers. What is it? Time travel, reality warping abilities, regeneration. Like, he basically plays with galaxies. You know what I mean? He's just a god. And so the tier is kind of like a multiverse real power scale. I feel
Mhm.
like he would take almost everybody out. But if we're specifically talking about boxing ring, honestly, I have my top two picks, which is probably Skuna and Griffith.
Okay. So, well, then you're gonna have to replace Sukuna with somebody else because I've got Sukuna
Another
on my
no, sorry,
side.
you gonna have to pick somebody else because I only got two. You got
You only
three,
got
so you
to.
can.
Well,
So,
okay. So if that's the case, then Maisto would be my wild
oh, your
card.
other pick. Okay, your wild
Yeah,
card.
Maisto would be my wild card. And since you had two wild cards, I'll say my other wild card would be Naraku
Not
because
okay.
I honestly feel like Naraku and Muzan are kind of on like the same level. Like they're both demons, but they're both
Really?
in a sense of
If
like being cowards because they would throw
Yeah,
everybody
that's
else at you
true. They
first.
honestly, they would be like they're like long lost brothers. They would probably have a lot that
Yeah,
you relate to.
they would have a lot in common, but if I'm putting them up against each other, they're gonna throw everybody else at each other
That's true.
first
That is true. Yeah.
and then get
Yeah, they're like
stronger
little
somehow and then fight each other.
scoundrels.
Yeah, very
Do
much
you
so.
who Yeah. Who do you think is like in your group, or even like in all of ours, who do you think is like the weakest link? Like for your group. Okay, let's say for out of in your group, who would be like the weakest link?
Mahito.
Mahito? Okay, I could see
Yeah.
that. I could see that.
Mahito would be well, I mean, you mentioned Yagami Light, so I feel like he technically would be the weakest
Yeah, for me,
link
yeah.
because everybody else got supernatural powers. He's the only one who's like, I'm gonna
Yeah,
write your
that's
name
true.
in a book.
No, I agree.
But if he don't know nobody's name, then yeah, he gonna get taken out first.
Because I feel like if we're specifically talking on par with powers, like it'll be different. But if we're talking on like skills and abilities, like in their respective worlds, they're thrown into other people's worlds where they have to fight. Like, I feel there are a lot of other villains that might fare well because they'll use their
Mhm.
brains as well. But
I think if we were to put our two weakest links together, which would be Maishito and Yagami Light, um,
yo, they would get up to some like messed up stuff.
they would.
They would.
They would. And the only thing is I would just not tell Yagami Light Maishito's name. I might just be
Honest,
like, his name is
yeah.
Maishito just to see him get taken out faster, but
Hmm.
he's
I'm
technically on my team. I don't want that. So
Yeah, but I'm honestly that would be kind of a cool combo though, because like the two of them would just mm. But I don't know because everything Mahito stands for is like the opposite, you could say, of what Yagami like Light supposedly Light is like, oh, I'm justice or whatever. You know, he has that like messed up sense of and that savior complex.
yeah.
So maybe they would not fare well together. But what would be like a good combo? Like, what two villains do you think would be a really good combination to fight together?
To fight together. Ooh.
Yeah. Like, who's taking out everybody together? Like,
I honestly think if I'm going based off of my picks, Frieza and Sukuna would work well together to
or
take
even like other
everybody out.
villains.
Or
Yeah.
other villains?
Other villains we haven't
Hmm.
even mentioned, like that we would, like, who would really go well together? Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question because I feel like these villains they would fight together just temporarily and
Yeah.
then
I mean,
still
obviously
end
at the
up
end,
taking digs at each other.
yeah. But I think that's why we need somebody who's more like a brainiac that maybe needs like where one party needs the other and the other party needs the other to like fulfill their final mission, their goal. I don't know.
Uh
I'm trying to think.
Quite honestly, I think if it's a villain versus villain battle, I honestly think Frieza would work well with Sukuna because they both kind of just are destructive in general. But I
Yeah.
think but I think because Frieza's I mean, okay, if I'm thinking in terms of like Jujutsu Kaisen, we technically don't know because the show's not over yet what Skuna's main goal is, besides getting
Mhm.
the fingers. Like once he gets all of his fingers and all of his power back, then what? Is he gonna like
Mhm.
try to take over everything and everybody? We don't know that
Yeah.
yet. At least for anime watchers. With Frieza, Frieza's been in the villain game for so long that at this point we know all he wants to do is just literally take out everybody and be in control of everything. And he's going to
Yeah.
do whatever it takes to get to that point, which could be a common concept with a lot of these villains. But then the villains that are more so on like the I became a villain because of XYZ, like the not full villains, I'm not pure evil, like something happened to me and now I'm evil
Yeah. Yeah.
type villains. Once they reach their goal, they're kind of not really villains anymore,
Yes, I know what you mean.
you know?
They some of them turn or like in the final end they're kind of like, oh, they weren't really that bad or yeah, they have a change of heart or stuff like that. Yeah.
Hmm. So I feel in that aspect, you kind of have to see which side of the fence that villain falls on. Like, are they on the I'm just pure evil side, like Frieza and
Mhm.
Sukuna, or are they on the this bad thing happened to me, so now I'm seeking revenge, kind of like Scar from Full Metal Alchemist,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So I'm like, which side of the fence do they fall on?
Yeah. I
I
mean,
don't
I feel
know.
honestly, that's why I mostly picked like at least so far like that's why I feel like the strongest ones are usually the ones who are just straight up evil
Yeah,
or at least became evil cuz Griffith was good originally, but he then, became bad. And then
yeah,
he became
no.
like one of the worst bad. But I don't know, honestly, I would like to see because we don't really have any brainiacs per se.
No, because I mean,
Maybe Light is like a brain more on the brainiac side,
no, but
but
he ain't got no
who
superpowers, so he gonna get taken out first.
yeah,
He got a
like
book
who is a brainiac who
of the group. I feel like, and I hate to even say this, Maisto might be a little bit of the brainiac because he's clever.
no, he's a shifty one.
He's a shifty, clever one.
Yeah.
But I'm
I
trying to
don't know.
think.
I'm throwing like Aizen in there. I feel like
Yeah,
he would be the one who's like, okay, guys, we need to. Like he would laugh, but he would be like, "All right, everyone, you guys are being so stupid. Get your shit together. Like, come
right.
on."
I would have to give it to Aizen then. I would have to give it to Aizen because I know Skuna. He don't listen to nobody at all. He's
Yeah,
gonna
no,
do
he
what he
won't.
wants and be destructive and take
Mhm.
you out in a heartbeat if he feels like you're being disrespectful, like
Yeah,
he
he's
did
just
with
here for a good
those
time.
girls. Well, not him.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he's pretty much here for a good time. Um, Naraku, I feel like maybe clever in a sense of like I can show you how to hide, and we
Yeah,
gon' kind of trick these other
I
villains
agree.
into
Like he
fighting
will
for us.
and he will like probably get together with somebody else and talk about it and be like, "Okay, if this benefits me, then I'll do it," kind of thing.
Right,
Cuz
right.
yeah, he is a coward in that way. I feel the same way about Muzan. It's like, "Okay, let's team up in a
Hmm.
sense."
But then once that team relationship kind of breaks apart, then now they're going back and forth with each other.
Oh yeah. No, I mean none of them would trust each other.
No.
For real, real. It would not work.
No. No. But I will say the only reason I put Mahito on my team, even as
Mhm.
a trump card, is because I want to see your villains take him out in the way he should have been taken out in the show. That's the only reason.
I kinda thought
Okay.
that's why. You just
No,
want him to
just
get beat up,
yeah, like
and
I'll
then
be
you're
like,
just gonna watch from the sidelines like, "Yes."
I am. I'll be like, I will hype him up too. Like, yes, you are the most powerful. You are gonna win and everything.
Oh, you're gonna
And
be
I,
sneaky like him, and you're just
yep,
gonna be laughing in the back in the
yep.
corner while he's getting beat up.
He's gonna get those left hooks and them right hooks, and I'm gonna be snickering in the
They're
corner
like,
like,
"Yeah." He's gonna be like, "Why are you rooting for the other team?" And you're like, "No, I wasn't
I'm
doing
not rooting
that.
for the other team.
I'm
I
rooting
was
for
watching
you. You can do it."
Frieza and Sukuna's fight. I'm laughing at them because they. I'm not laughing at you.
Mhm. For real.
In
And then
reality,
if
get them.
that's the case, there are some people I would like to throw under the bus so that they get beat up. Show Tucker, number
Yep,
1.
yep. I knew you was
Number
gonna say
2
Show
is
Tucker.
Rachel.
Oh, from
Rachel can
where's
get
she
it.
from? What is she from again? Shoot.
Tower
Um,
of God.
yes, Tower of God.
Rachel, you can get it too.
I feel like Show Tucker, although he is a diabolical villain, I can't include him in the
He's not really a supervillain. Like,
brawl. Well, because the only
yeah.
thing he can do is just, and I hate to even say this, but the only thing he can do is just transform people into animals.
Yeah. So he'll basically use his daughter
Yeah,
as a shield.
that is so. My heart. My heart hurts so much. Oh my god, no. Yeah, but if
But they're thrown in
anything,
there. We'll throw them in there too.
he should be
Just
the
to get beat.
opening act for this brawl.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
we just gonna put him in the middle, tell him he's won some award or something, and then just have all of our villains from both sides be like, look, whoever it's like flipping a coin. Whoever takes out Shao Tucker first, that team gets to go first.
Ooh. I like that.
You see what I'm saying? Like that
Mhm.
would be good. Whoever take that man out first, that team gets to go first in the brawl. So
Yeah,
let's
it's
say
like instead of rock,
Maito.
paper, scissors, it's literally
Wait, I just
go
thought of a
first.
perfect pairing.
Who?
Show Tucker and Maito, because Maito be turning people
Honestly,
into
you're
that would
not
be the
wrong there.
perfect way to take out Show Tucker is, I mean, that's a genius.
He can experience what he did. Yeah,
Yeah.
he can get like a front row experience.
Actually, that would be the a good opening act is you got Show Tucker and Maito kind of going back and forth. I mean, it would be quick and it would be over very quickly,
Yeah,
but it would be the perfect opening act for the brawl.
that would be kind of cool actually. I would
It'd
I
be
would watch
like,
that.
Maito,
Absolutely.
go get him. He said he could beat you. I don't know. I just something to taunt Maito with. I don't even think you need anything to taunt Maito. You just be like,
Yeah.
go get him, and he'll go get him.
In your opinion, if we're talking about like the villain who's done the most damage, not from what we picked, and even those who don't have superpowers,
Hmm.
who do you think has basically in their anime world, who has done the most damage? Like who was the most evil of
Ooh,
them
that's a
all?
good question. Um, I can only think of Frieza and Skuna at this point. And the
Okay.
reason being is because Skuna took out more than half of Shibuya.
It's gonna take out everyone. Everybody. It's probably gonna take out everybody by the
Like,
end of this story.
Skuna is just he's out here wilding for no reason.
Mhm.
And he's looking good while doing it. Okay, excuse me,
That's
but
true. We gotta
he
give it to
looks
him because he really does look
he
good.
looks good while doing it. He is a complete psychopath.
Mhm.
We not Team Sukuna in the villain way, but like in the looks way, I'm Team Sukuna. But
Oh, yeah.
um, and then with Frieza, he's literally taken out planets.
Mhm.
And not only that, he has used other people to take out even more planets for
Yeah.
him. Like, rather than
Yeah.
he go himself to destroy a planet, he's sent, for example, Vegeta. Like, he sent Vegeta to go destroy planets. If you put up all those planets together, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of destruction.
Yeah.
Out of all the anime that I've seen, the one that has caused the most destruction as a villain is Frieza for me. And then
Okay.
Sukuna falls after that. And then after Sukuna, technically it would have to be Hohenheim
Oh, Hohenheim.
from
Okay.
Full Metal Alchemist, because he did pretty much take out all those people to make a Philosopher's Stone.
Father. Okay, yeah. Why he would.
Yeah. For the anime that I've seen, now mind you, I haven't seen a lot of shonen that you have. So, but I would probably have to say what's going on in my head right now, it would be Hohenheim, because Hohenheim not only made a Philosopher's Stone once, I can't remember in Brotherhood, but I think in the original they kind of alluded to the fact that where he was jumping bodies so many times, he had to keep
Yeah.
making a Philosopher's Stone. So he kept sacrificing innocent people, villages, towns, whatever, to make a Philosopher's Stone to keep jumping bodies. So he's on my list. Now, would I put him in a fight with the other villains? Probably not, because they're gonna take him out in a heartbeat. So there's no reason. There's no reason I need to have him on my list. He's not in my bracket.
Yeah. I mean, I do agree because the one thing is, overall, damage-wise, when we're as a person watching anime, it could be like general populations or universes, but definitely
Hmm.
Sukuna. Honestly, for now, it's Mahito because he hurt my heart. He hurt my soul. But overall, it will be Sukuna. Um, because he does a lot of damage.
But technically,
I
Mahito didn't do that much damage compared to Sukuna. Okay, I mean, he broke our
Yes, but
hearts
he
and he hurt our
he he damaged
minds.
my he damaged my heart. Oh, but I do like I like our picks. I think they would be a really good match there.
Yeah, I agree. I like our picks as well. If we were to narrow it down to one person taking the crown, who would you have to give it to?
Okay, nothing about I have to give it to Anti-Spiral because there's no way anybody is winning against that. But
Really?
yeah, how are they gonna fight a god?
Yeah, it's true.
But if not, if we're talking about like boxing match, probably Skuna.
Well, I say boxing match, but I really mean like we throwing them in the ring and they can go all out.
Yeah, then I feel like Anti-Spiral all the way because he's just gonna bend their minds, mimic their powers, change time or something, and they're gonna be like, "What's going
Wow.
on?"
I would
Just
have to give it to Sukuna,
mhm.
because I think Sukuna is going to be clever in a sense of he's already unhinged, right?
Yeah.
So he's going to bring them into his domain and then take them all out. Like, that's not, I don't really know if you can copy a domain, but it'd be interesting.
I mean, you can technically I mean, it says he technically can mimic any powers, you know?
But if,
The problem is there's no, like, multiverse and, like,
yeah.
Jujutsu Kaisen, so it's like we don't really know how that plays, but
Uh huh.
yeah, I don't see him necessarily winning against someone who can time travel.
Yeah, that's true too. Because he could easily go back in time and take him out
And
the
just
first time,
yeah,
and then there's no more
basically,
Sukuna.
before he becomes a curse. Or get rid of all the fingers and not have to worry, like or I don't know. Yeah, he can basically get rid of before he ever comes into being.
Hmm.
But I feel like that's why it's just too out of the realm, like, if you're too godlike, you can't
It can't be
there's almost
stopped.
no point yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I give it to you. I tip my hat to you. I give you that one because I'm like, dang, I can't really think of a good argument that would go back
Yeah, but
against
I think
that.
if we're a physical form fighting, I would give it to, like, Skuna,
Yeah.
And he'll look good while doing it.
Yes, he will. Girl. Oh my gosh. You guys let us know, based on our villain picks, who do you think is going to come out on top? And let us know if you guys have some of your top villains and you're putting them into a boxing ring. Who's winning? Be sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Anime Sekai Podcast. And once again, we thank you guys for joining us, and we will catch you guys next week.
Bye, guys. Have a good one.
Bye, guys. See you next week.